Hello my dear students, hope you all are safe and healthy at your place. Always I will tell you this sentence first because due to the pandemic situation. Dear students, let's welcome back for the SKCBSC YouTube channel for the first session of biology and the 6th chapter of your NCERT syllabus, that is the 6th lesson is life processes we are going to study today. Dear students, what is life processes? We have digestion process, circulation process, day by day growing process, everything it includes in life processes itself. All living things perform a certain life processes like growth, excretion, circulation, etc. All the processes like respiration, digestion, which together keep the living organisms alive and perform the job of body maintenance are called as life processes. Let's look at the example. Here you have to remember the example I have written. Okay. Now, under the life processes, there are some characteristics I have told you. That is nothing but the growth, respiration, circulation, growth, respiration, circulation and excretion, and digestion. We can take here as digestion. So my dear students, it all need the logic support with the help of God. What is that? That is nothing but the nutrition. To perform all this activity, we need nutrition. Dear students, here in nutrition, what is nutrition? To intake of the food, to prepare the food, to make utilization of the food to our body. That is nothing but the nutrition. In nutrition, we can see nutrition in two types. Where we can see the nutrition in two types? In the plants as well as in the animals. As I said, there are two types of nutrition. They are found in plants and animals. Dear students, plants, can you see green plants? Are they going to come to ask us food? No, because they'll prepare their own food. So, they are called as autotrophs. Plants prepare their own food. All the green plants prepare their own food. So, they are called as autotrophs. Auto means self. And what about animals? We are not going to prepare our own food in our body. We are dependent on others for the food. So, we are called as hetero. Hetero means depends on plants or other animals for the food. So, we are called as heterotrophs. Heterotrophs. So, here auto means what, dear students? They can make their own food. Can make their own here depends on plants or animals. Plants or animals. Now, the question arises, how do plants prepare their own food? From 5th standard, we are studying how plants are preparing their own food. That magic process is called as nothing but photosynthesis. In the photosynthesis, they'll use all the raw materials and prepare their own food. Okay, now photo means what? Light. Synthesis means what? Process. So here plants will prepare with the help of photosynthesis their own food. Now let's know more about autotrophs and heterotrophs. Next. So dear students, autotrophic nutrition, the organisms which carry out autotrophic nutrition are called as autotrophs. That is nothing but the green plants. Autotrophic nutrition is fulfilled by the process by which autotrophs take in carbon dioxide and water and convert these into carbohydrate in the presence of chlorophyll, which is present in the green leaves, and sunlight. This process is called as nothing but the magic process, that is called as photosynthesis. Now let's understand the equation of photosynthesis. Now, what is the equation of photosynthesis? It is 6 CO2, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 12 molecules of water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. In presence of chlorophyll, they gives C6H12O6 plus 6 molecules of oxygen and 6 molecules of water. 6 molecules of water. This is already a balanced equation, and this point you have to remember the equation process of photosynthesis. Now, let's study what all raw materials for photosynthesis it requires. As I said, it requires sunlight and it requires chlorophyll, sunlight absorbed by the chlorophyll, and carbon dioxide enters through the stomata which are present in the leaves, and oxygen is released as by the product to the stomata on the leaf. Now water and dissolved minerals like nitrogen, phosphorus, etc. are taken up by the roots from the soil. Okay, dear students, till here photosynthesis process you have understood. Now, what are the sites of photosynthesis? Site of photosynthesis. Dear students, you can see the chloroplast in the leaf. Chloroplast contain chlorophyll. That is, we can see chloroplasts in the leaf. So we can see what are the sites of photosynthesis. Chloroplast in the leaf are called as sites of photosynthesis because chloroplast contain chlorophyll. Here it contains chlorophyll. Okay. Now, what are the main events of photosynthesis? What are the main events? Now, absorption of light energy by chlorophyll, conversion of light energy into a chemical energy, plus splitting, that is breaking of water into hydrogen and oxygen. The next one is reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Hope you understood till here. Okay. Now, let's know about the stomata. Stomata are the tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves. Okay, dear students, those are very tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves. Now, what we know about stomata now? Now, what are the functions? Here, exchange of gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. Intake of carbon dioxide and giving of oxygen takes place during the photosynthesis. Now, the second one is it loses large amount of water in the form of water vapor during transpiration. Transpiration. What is the transpiration now, dear students? Here, transpiration is nothing but how we human beings excrete the excess water in the form of urine, sweat. Okay, in the same form, even plants throw out the excess water from their body. That is nothing but the transpiration process. This practical you have already done in the 7th standard. Okay, transpiration activity, tying the plastic for the plant and absorbing the small tiny droplets of the water collected in the inside of the plastic surface. You have already did it. So, this process is also called as transpiration. Transpiration is nothing but it throw out the excess water during the photosynthesis process. Hope till this all photosynthesis and its functions, main characters, everything is clear for you all. So, dear students, we all know about what is autotrophic nutrition in plant. Now, let's move for the heterotrophic nutrition. Let us understand more about heterotrophic nutrition. As already I said you, heterotrophic nutrition is nothing but we, the animals, depend on plants and other animals for the food. So, those type of mode of nutrition is called as heterotrophic nutrition. Dear students, here heterotrophic nutrition. In this, there are 3 types of heterotrophic nutrition. Those 3 types are, first one is holozoic nutrition. The first one is holozoic nutrition. And the second one is saprophytic nutrition. And the third one is parasitic nutrition. Now, let's study one by one. What is holozoic nutrition? Here, animals take in solid food and breakdowns inside the body. Okay, holozoic nutrition is nothing but animals will take the solid food and break down into inside our body. Okay, example is Amoeba. The example of holozoic is amoeba and other animals. These are examples for holozoic nutrition. Now, what are saprophytic nutrition? Here, organisms feed on dead and decaying matter. Here, organisms feed on dead and decaying matter. That is, for this, example is fungi. Now, what about parasitic? As the name itself suggests, parasitic means depending. Parasites live inside or outside the other organisms. That organisms are called as host bodies and derive nutrition from it. The best example is Cascata. The best example is Cascata. This is a parasitic plant. Okay. Now, this all types of heterotrophic nutrition you understood. Now, next let's study how do organisms obtain their food. Okay, dear students. Next let's study how do organisms obtain their food. How do organisms obtain their food? Here, unicellular, that is nothing but the single-celled organisms. Let's study how they will obtain their food. That is unicellular. Unicellular. Example, let's take as amoeba. Dear students, this amoeba and paramecium, their food is taken up through their entire outer side body surface. Now, you have studied already in 7th A the how amoeba nutrition methods is there. Now, let me explain. Just assume this is an amoeba. Amoeba is always shapeless. It has a nucleus. And food vacuole is nearby it. Assume this is the food vacuole nearby the amoeba. Now, what amoeba does? Amoeba has the false feet. Okay, that false feet is called as nothing but the pseudopodia. Here, it will create one food vacuole. When amoeba see the food, it will create an food vacuole. This is the nucleus. This is the food item. Okay. When it will see the food vacuole, it come near the food vacuole and it will create try to create one vacuole. From that vacuole, food is taken inside. The food is taken inside. Okay. Now, let's understand this process. When amoeba see the food through the pseudopodia, it will extend the cell membrane. Here, extension of cell membrane you can see. Then it will capture the food. After capturing the food, it will take inside the food through its vacuole. Now, digestion of the food in the food vacuole, it takes place. After this digestion of a food in amoeba through diffusion method. Diffusion method. Okay. Digestion of food that takes place through the diffusion method of a simple substances, so in cytoplasm only. Now, undigested food. Again, undigested food of amoeba again thrown out with the same membrane, with the same cell membrane. So it moves to the surface of the cell membrane and it is thrown out of the surface. This is how nutrition in amoeba we can see. Understood, dear students? Now let's understand one more example, that is nutrition in Paramecium. Nutrition in Paramecium. Nutrition in Paramecium. Here cilia present all over the body. You have seen the Paramecium. Okay, it takes in the food. Cilia are the outer covering. Hair like a structure. It is present in the Paramecium. I am just drawing roughly. These are the cilia which are present outside the body. This is nucleus. Okay. Now, when cilia, it absorbs the food molecules and at a specific spot it will absorb. And now here the same process of excretion and digestion takes place in the Paramecium also. Understood, dear students? Now steps in holozoic nutrition. The first step is in holozoic nutrition. There are in holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition. There are few steps. First one is ingestion. Ingestion is nothing but intake of the food. Ingestion. The next one is digestion. Intake of food. The next one is digestion. Here digestion, it will take inside and it will absorb, okay, the nutrition. So the next one is absorption. Absorption of nutrients. The next one is step is assimilation. Assimilation means what? Assimilation. As in assimilation, the nutrients has been absorbed by the blood. Okay, all the nutrients which are present in the food, these are absorbed in the by the blood. So the last one is egestion. The fifth step is nothing but the egestion. Here egestion means what? Throwing out the waste from the body is nothing but the egestion step. So this all 5 steps includes in holozoic nutrition, not only in unicellular as well as in multicellular, that is higher animals, okay, including human beings also. Hope till here you understood. So next class let's study about the nutrition in human beings. Dear students, on this chapter session 1 you are going to make a notes and send it to my personal number. If any doubt, please call or drop me a message to my personal number. Stay home, stay safe and be healthy.